Hey there, good morning. I'm John. Today is Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. This is my daily vlog. Why am I saying it so slowly? Because this is the 1 year anniversary. This is only the second time in the history of this vlog that I have said the words November 1st. This all began when I was laid off from my longtime job that I had loved for a long time, that had degraded somewhat over last couple of years. And then in a round of layoffs when some new management that didn't even know my name or could pick me out of a lineup ticked me off of a box as someone who made too much money, and I was gone. It was then that I decided, and you can go back and look, a year ago, my first video, I wasn't feeling great, but I had determined rather than jump back into the job market, I would try to see if I could make content creation a full-time job. Now back then, I gave myself about a year. This is a year. What's happened in the interim is I have not been successful, nor have I failed yet. Revenue has continued to creep up ever so slightly. Views and subscribers have continued to rise and rise and rise, not like a rocket, but substantially, to the point where it's only just now, in the last 2 months or so, that we've really started to reach a plateau where advertisers and third parties are interested in us. You know, I'm always talking about how many views, how many subscribers. It's not just to get YouTube revenue, it's to be a viable media outlet that is worth an advertiser to put their dollars on. You know, for example, is this a vlog? This is the weird anniversary thing. I don't know how long this will be. I'm gonna try to be brief. For example, George and I were just talking yesterday about, well, let's look at a great video that did really, really well, like the Flashback Gold 50th anniversary thing. That's been out for months and months and months, and it's made about $900, which sounds like a lot. I mean, it's not a lot to spread out amongst multiple people over 6 months, but it's a lot for a video. But keep in mind, if that video had a sponsor that was a $900 sponsor, I wouldn't care about how much viewership or subscribers it got necessarily. If a video does its job, then it does its job. And so if a video's job is to satisfy an advertiser, like we've talked about before, it need not be a hit. You know, it must have the biggest performer ever. What advertisers are looking for are regular performance of videos that do well in order to say, oh, if I put my money there, it's like TV show advertising, right? Oh, how many people watch that show? I'll put my ad on that. How many people watch those dumb videos John does? I'll put my ad on that. So because there has been a nominal amount of success and interest from advertisers, not money yet, but interest, I've been able to extend this experiment for, I don't know how long. The faster I grow, the longer it gets, until ultimately we look back and we're not on the runway anymore. We're in the air and the runway is irrelevant. But we're not there yet. The good news is, here we are 1 year later, and I'm standing here telling you I'm not done, which probably is obvious if you've been watching the vlog. I wasn't getting my affairs in order to get back in the job market or anything. I still have a sufficient runway of greater than a year if I choose to use it. And that can be extended if we get a little more success and a little more success. And so this is not the 1 year anniversary. This is not a celebration. This is another day where I am taking note that I have been doing this for 365 days. I'm not sick of it. I am not successful. I am not a failure. I am making it okay. I think there is a path to success. I don't know if, as we've said from the first day, if I have enough, everything required to succeed, whether it's stamina or skill or talent or charisma or just stubbornness, whatever it takes to get there. I don't know if I have all that yet, but I had enough to get here. So I'm going to try to use a little more to get there. let's get to the part of the vlog that you normally see for the vlog. Let's talk about yesterday. I told you yesterday that I was thinking about whether or not to do that video about digital clips being purchased by Atari. Well, as you probably know by now, I did do that video. I did some research, and I still felt this is important to me. I did that video, and not only did it far outperform that Ronimo video, the acquisition from last week, by double or triple, it's on par with, or even a little better than the Tetris handheld review that I did at this point in time. So right now, I think after a day or so, that was right at 2,000. I think this video, this Digital Eclipse acquisition editorial, is like at 2,100 views, just over 18 hours or whatever it's been since I released it. That video is doing fine. Engagement is good. I'm very happy that I did that. In fact, in hindsight, I'm happy I did the Ronimo video too, because it has done better. It's up to like 1,700 views or so, but I think it's another bullet point that go, oh, GenXGrownUp covers when these important things happen, even when the ones that are less important. I still look back and think I could have spent that time better, but I don't regret that video. I was talking with someone in the comments yesterday who said, don't feel bad about that video. And they're right, and I don't feel bad about it. I just, in hindsight, is like, could I have done something that was more time efficient? Anyway, happy I did the video yesterday. It did well. In addition to that, I did the podcast, in a year, I can't talk yet. I did the podcast edit yesterday on Twitch. A dozen or so people showed up for that. Several people renewed their Prime sub. Thank you for that. It's every little bit that counts. That's how we got here. Every little bit. It's you putting your Amazon Prime sub thing on Twitch. It's you going over to patreon.com and saying, yeah, here's $1 a month. I know it's not much, but it's something. It's every little thing. It's being in a live stream and throwing a cheer, a tip, or it's crypto over on the Twitch thing, just throwing bits like it's confetti. It's all those little things that are little things, but they culminate and have gotten us this far. I'm so happy that you are here with me and that you're doing that with me and that you're part of it. And I'm so grateful. And that you value the things that we are doing enough that you're willing to contribute in that way. I'm not looking for charity. As we've talked about, I'm looking for compensation for work, which is what all work is, Anyway, let's talk stats. I know you've been wondering what's up with the stats. Yesterday we talked about it, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen today. Today, on the 1-year anniversary, we're going to cross over 40,000 subscribers. As I record this, 39,990, just 10 away, maybe more by the time I edit this and throw the graphic over my shoulder. Who could have predicted we'd hit this huge round number on the 1-year anniversary? About like 25,000 subscribers gained in the last year. About 5.2 million views gained in the last year. That ain't nothing. That is something. And wow. Let's talk about today. Look, hey, just because it's the anniversary, we got the day off. We got work to do. So I'll be keeping an eye on the subscribers to celebrate the 40,000. It'll happen. We know it'll happen sometime today. And I'm also going to work on that next tier video. I'm about halfway through, as I said. I didn't get to it at all yesterday, but I want to work on that. I would love to have that done by the end of the week. Maybe. It's usually about 8 hours of editing, so it could be tough, and I haven't got the pieces together. So maybe that's an early Monday kind of thing. We'll see next week. Again, I would have done it yesterday, but news came up, an editorial came up, and so it was a good. I went with my gut. It was a good detour and use of my time rather than what I had planned. So not upset about that. If it pushes the tier by another day or two, that's okay. That's all right. And then finally, I think I need to catch up on another script for celebrating yesteryear. I'm a bit behind on those, and so I need to find time today to come in here, read the prompter, and read the voiceover stuff for Retro Days to get their next piece out. That's every day. That's a year ago. That's 6 months ago. That's 3 months ago. That's today. Where we been? How's it going? What are we doing next? And barring unforeseen calamitous circumstances, and you can never be sure, I hope to put in one more year of this to give it a shot. I feel like it's taken a year to get us on a deck where we can then jump harder and higher and faster. I was down in the gutter jumping and nobody could barely see my fingers. Well, now, now I'm up on a deck where at least you can see my head and my arms waving, right? I'm getting a little more, my head above water. I'm talking financially, I'm talking, what's the word I'm looking for? Just recognition in the general public. People kind of more know who, we talked with another potential advertiser the other day who just picked us out of the blue, and they got on the phone with us, and man, we're talking to GenXGrownUp. Who the hell are we, and why would you be excited to talk to? We're just knuckleheads making videos, right? It's to the point where we have now a new springboard to leap off of. Before we had a hobbyist thing. Now we have a foundation, a deck from which I think we can build some more. So that's what I'm going to work on today. Thank you so much for stopping to check out today's vlog. If you did, I'm getting a little choked up. It's so exciting to have gotten this far. If you're here every day, thank you so much. I hope you'll stay with me for a good while longer. I'm going to stick it out. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Please do something good for yourself, and I will talk to you next day. Bye-bye.